Hello and welcome back to my channel Inspiring Life Changes. This is a astrology reading today for all Capricorns out there. I normally would do this along with a tarot reading, but I've decided that I'm going to do this as a separate thing because it's taking far too long to do the astrology bit and then the tarot reading as well. The videos are too long, it's taking too long to upload them, and it's just taking too much time in general. So I'm going to try and do these as two separate videos and put them out there for you Capricorns as soon as I can. So for you Capricorns, this new moon that has just taken place, so I've got my notes here, I hope it's not too loud, I'll put that down there. The new moon, which has just taken place in Sagittarius, has taken place in your 12th house of Pisces. And this means for you, Jupiter has been at 29 degrees and it's saying that endings and beginnings. There's a new sense of freedom, a discovery, a dream, a hope, a belief in something bigger and better. It's the end of a cycle, closing of something, surrendering to the unknown. So that's all taking place for you in the first house, which is ruled by Aries. And in your first house, ruled by Aries at the moment, of course, you have the big planets Saturn, Pluto, Venus, and the South Node. And again, there's something has done its time. An old cycle is coming to a close. Closure of one door as another door opens to a new beginning. Letting love into the dark corners of your life, because Venus has just moved into your sign of Capricorn as well. And Venus, of course, has just been conjunct Jupiter and the galactic center, so it's got a lot of kind of new energy about it. It's kind of bringing in a new, higher idea or form of love, if you like. It's something that's going beyond the kind of relationships that you're used to. It's going to bring in a different, fresher, more spiritual aspect to your relationships, possibly. Somebody who has more understanding on a spiritual level, and can relate to you on a better level as well. So yeah, Venus is saying it's, you know, the gift of love is for yourself, which Aries, it's time to rebuild and heal and embrace the new. When I say Aries, it's because the self is about Aries being the first house. It's what it represents. So third house, you have Gemini, is the Gemini house, the third house, and for you it is Pisces. Your third house is Pisces and it's ruled by Gemini. And there is Neptune, and Neptune has just turned station direct, so it's coming out of its deep slumber, and it's also been sextile Saturn as well. So both are very slow moving planets and energy. So it's basically saying that this energy is going to be long lasting. This is something that's not going to just kind of disappear over the next few days or weeks. This is going to be long lasting energy, months. So Saturn, because it's because it's sextile, so it's supporting the newly awoken Neptune and wants to help build on the new vision. So whatever that new thing is that Jupiter in Sagittarius is kind of bringing into your awareness, Saturn wants to help you build it. But while Saturn wants facts and hows and whys, Neptune is bringing the unknown quality of the need to trust the new journey that is unfolding. And that's the Sagittarius new moon as well, kind of trust element that's needed here. Being in the third house, ruled by Gemini and Mercury, there could be a feeling of the need to communicate as well. Maybe write about the new experience, start a blog, a YouTube channel, lots of emails, just a sense that communication is key at this moment in time for you as this dream starts to unfold. Journaling, maybe writing ghost stories, things of the supernatural flavour may be highlighted at this time of Saturn and Neptune. Saturn, of course, is also the teacher as well, so it's kind of saying to you, what have you learnt while Neptune has been retrograde? What, on the deeper subconscious level, have you learnt about your own inner understanding of your own subconscious mind in many ways? So the 4th house of Cancer is where you have your Aries, and in that placement at the moment we have Chiron, and Chiron is the wounded healer, and it's retrograde as well. Sorry, I'll just say that before I forget. Chiron is also retrograde, and it changes direction. I think it's the 12th of December when Chiron's going to start moving direct again. So it's almost returned to the very beginning of the zodiac in the sign of Aries, which is all about, again, new beginnings. The baby of the zodiac, Aries, kind of, it knows it needs things. It doesn't necessarily know what it needs, but it kind of has this reactive energy about it. It kind of reacts to its needs rather than knowing what its needs are. So it knows that it needs food, it knows it when it needs changing. It doesn't necessarily know that's exactly what it is, but it knows it needs them, etc. That's what how a baby responds. It responds to its needs, and it can't communicate it. And it can't do these things for itself either. So Chiron in the 4th house of Cancer is bringing those wounded parts of your own childhood, mothering parts out of the past to be healed. That's really what it's about for you. It's about kind of healing that childhood, that mothering, how you were mothered, how your mother responded to your needs. And it may also be bringing up, if you have your own children, it may also be bringing up for you Capricorns, the way that you respond to your children, your own mothering, maybe making you look at how you have been as a mother, because this is all connected with the actual healing process as well. So yeah, your own issues around being a mother for your own children in order to release, heal, and become more confident. So I'm just going to quickly put this into my phone. Sorry about this, Capricorns. I'll be with you very shortly. There we go. My phone suddenly decided it didn't have enough charge in it, so hopefully it's on charge now. It won't just disappear on me. Okay, so in your 5th house of Leo, which is the sign of Taurus for you Capricorns, you have Uranus, which is also retrograde, and is now at 0.3 degrees. And it's all about, in Taurus, it's about your values, your finances, your environment, quality over quantity, your possessions, your all the good things, you know, it's taste, it's all the 5 senses as well, sensuality. And Taurus, like Aries is the baby, Taurus is the toddler. And so Taurus is a bit, to me, I kind of think of Taurus a bit like the fat cat banker as well. They have that kind of tendency, shall we say. And I am a Taurus, so before any of you Taurians out there start kind of ranting about it. I am a Taurus, so I kind of understand where this side of Taurus comes from. And it's like the toddler wants. It wants. Unlike Aries, where its needs are just being met, a toddler has kind of got to the stage where it's a bit more understanding of its environment and how it can get what it wants. And so, but it hasn't as yet learnt also to say when enough is enough. So in Taurus, the energy in Taurus can kind of it's very much about the physical realm. It's like Taurus wants to be satiated. It wants to be indulged. It loves opulence. It's all that kind of real indulgence in the physical realm. And so it feels its needs, wants, and that feels good. As a toddler, you get your wants and your needs met, it feels good. You like it. You want more of it. So Taurus can hoard as well. They can become real hoarders. They can hold on to all sorts of tat and rubbish. And again, as a Taurus, I know that. So, and you can do it out of a sense of mistaken security as well. Like it can make you feel secure. And this can also be for yourselves, Capricorn, as well, because this is the 5th house where you have Leo. So this is also to do with your self-identity as well. And your status and your courage. And Uranus is here to bring sudden change to this kind of way that you the way that you maybe put too much emphasis, shall we say, on how other people respect you, or almost like your identity and your status. It's almost like kind of wanting to be a major player in like, you know, in the spotlight. Leo loves to be in the spotlight. It loves to be in charge of things. It loves to kind of have control in some ways, which again can be a Taurian energy, is that need to kind of control the situation, because it's a fixed sign, as is Leo as well. So they do like to take that kind of, you know, stance on things. But there's a feeling here that with Uranus in this 5th house for you Capricorns, it's almost like you're needing to kind of clear out that side of yourself that has hoarded too much prestige or status, or, you know, this kind of looking at life through this through your, how can I put it, through your standing of who you have created in many ways, the person that you've created, whether that's kind of, you know, through your work, through your position in society, your status within the family or the community. Uranus will, over the next 7 years, bring about changes in these self-orientated fields of your life. So it's almost kind of saying, and it has been doing for a wee while now, that there's, you know, there's a need to look here at how you present yourself, in the sense of how you kind of maybe try to I'm trying to think of the best way to put this without offending a few Capricorns out there, but how you kind of exaggerate maybe in some ways, because Leo's ruled by the sun as well, and the sun does kind of, you know, bring this really kind of hot energy to things, shall we say. You know, it brightens things up, it puts a spotlight on you, and kind of this emphasis of I hesitate, I'm getting the kind of words in my head of kind of being too big for your boots, in the sense of like trying to go beyond where you've already got to So you may find that, you know, Uranus is going to bring in some sweeping changes when it comes to your idea of how you value yourself in the sense of your identity. How is it you value it? What is it that you think is worth your time, your energy, your effort, which is all very Taurian as well. But how, because of the Leo aspect of it, because of the self-identity side of it as well, it's almost like it's a personal issue for you as well, in the sense of kind of maybe trying to overreach as well, trying to be kind of a kind of feeling of grandiose and kind of this kind of and being like Uranus just keeps kind of bringing you back and grounding you somehow in the kind of now reality, and you may not particularly be liking that at the moment, Capricorn, because your fifth house is kind of saying, you know, it's time to get out there and kind of like, you know, really show who you are. And but at the moment, Uranus isn't going to support that. It's just going to keep changing things, knocking things down, in the sense of kind of sudden bursts of like tower moments, like when you think you've kind of reached that pinnacle, it's kind of like the tower, the Uranus energy will kind of come in and go kind of, you know, think you need to think that through again type of thing. So just watch out for those changes, because they are going to be over the next 7 years. So it's going to be a lot of it coming, but it's also going to be, you know, as the planets move and change and make different aspects with everything else, it's going to have easier times as well as more difficult times, shall we say. The longer a planet is in a sign, the more extreme that energy is, the more important in our lives in many ways that energy is. Uranus is an outer planet, so it's also generational as well. It's a planet that moves so very slowly that it kind of stays in the same sign for generations. So in your 7th house, which is ruled by Libra and to do with relationships, it's your Cancer, it's your house of Cancer, Capricorn. So your house of Cancer is ruled by, or the sign of Cancer, shall we say, is ruled by the house of Libra, relationships. And in Cancer at this moment in time, you will find the North Node. Now the North Node is the point of the moon where the moon's orbit crosses over the ecliptic path of the sun. And this happens yearly. So for the last year, the North Node has been in Cancer, and its axis partner has been in the opposite sign of your sign, Capricorn, along, of course, with Saturn and Pluto. So there's been a lot of kind of major changes, I would say, occurring in one way or another in your life, Capricorns. These two nodes are always in retrograde, so they're always moving backwards. So they would go round the zodiac in the opposite way to every other planet. So they move backwards into the sign behind them. And it's kind of like, in some way, if you know about the precession that takes place every 2,152 years, I believe, roughly. That's the kind of time scale for it. And what that means is that in the great zodiac sign, kind of in the sky, precession, it kind of shifts every 72 years, a degree shifts. And so we move through the larger signs as well. So we have been in the age of Pisces for quite some time, but we're moving now from Pisces into the sign of Aquarius, because it does move backwards, the same as the moon's nodes. So the South Node, which is in Capricorn, is said to be all about kind of our karmic history, if you like. It's the place there where we feel most comfortable because it's the things that we've kind of learnt previously. If you believe in reincarnation, then it's to do with our past lives and the things that we bring through with us, things that we've kind of learnt and mastered. So we've kind of, you know, we're very comfortable there. So we will return to that place wherever the South Node is for us, and it changes every 18 months. So every 18 months it will be in a new place, so it's never in the same place in a natal birth chart after 18 months of it having turned up in one sign. So the North Node, which is in the sign of Cancer, is the place where we are heading towards. So as the South Node is the place that we're trying to kind of leave behind and learn new lessons. In particular, at the moment, the lessons that we're trying to learn is all about the Cancerian energies, and the Cancerian energies are very much about the mother, our childhood, protection, security, intuition, sensitivity towards ourselves and towards others. And so for the Capricorns in the house of Libra, it is all about your relationships. The Cancer sign being about your home, security, mother, and the sign of Libra being all about harmony, justice, fairness, balance. So there has been an emphasis for you, Capricorns, on these energies, these feelings, all of these things within your home environment. But of course, because you've got the South Node over in Capricorn, you've also been having this kind of confliction, shall we say, this opposition, because they're always opposing each other, the South and the North Node. So this confliction of kind of wanting to go back to what you understand and what you know and where you're coming from with where you're heading towards. And so when we kind of head towards something new, we kind of put our energies and our directions into something new. And at the moment, it is all very much about, and this is on a collective scale as well as on an individual level as well. If you have a Cancer Capricorn axis or Capricorn Cancer axis, depending on which way around you want to look at it, then you will find that these energies are playing out strongly in your life at this moment in time. It is a collective, like I said, so at the moment we're all trying to move towards that Cancerian feeling of security and home, and finding that home within ourselves, and also kind of trying to find our kind of soul family as well. Where do we feel happy? Where do we feel comfortable? Where do we feel secure? But for you Capricorns, because like I say, it's in your 7th house and you've had the two malefics of Saturn and Pluto opposing all this energy of your Cancer home security, the last thing that you've probably been feeling for the last year is secure and safe, because Saturn and Pluto have just been opposing, and the South Node have been opposing this energy over and over again. And so the energy is beginning to dissipate, though, as the nodes move more towards the end of the sign, and Pluto and Saturn are moving more towards the end of Capricorn itself. So there's now this kind of distance between those energies. But you may have found that you've been experiencing a rough ride in your home and your relationships in particular. That you that for Capricorn Sun, Moon, Venus and Rising will have reached or are reaching a point of no return, a final ending, in order to restore the beauty, balance and harmony back into your lives. within the home and family life in the future. And one of the reasons that there's going to be an ease up of this energy, if you like, as well, is also because Venus has now entered into Capricorn. So Venus is, although it's opposing your North Node in Cancer, it's also kind of in some ways supporting it, because it's a gentler energy, and it kind of feels at home for Cancer. Venus and Cancer kind of get on really well. The energies are very kind of supportive towards each other. Venus being about beauty and love, and kind of Cancer being about the home and the family, and, you know, what you really want in your home and your family is beauty and love, and kind of, you know, those energies. So there is this kind of feeling that now things may well start to ease up for you and become a little bit easier. So in the 11th house, which is the Aquarius house of friendships and community, innovation, things that move quickly, lightning, electricity, unknown in the sense of things happening out of the blue, bolts out of the blue, sudden change, all that kind of thing. You have that in the sign of Scorpio. So in Scorpio at this moment in time is Mars, and during this new moon, or just before the new moon, the Mars and Taurus energy, the Mars in Scorpio and Uranus in Taurus energies opposed each other as well. Now this is a different kind of opposition to the North Node and Venus opposing energies, because Mars is very dynamic and very kind of fiery and passionate, and it's just come out of Libra, so it's feeling a lot more kind of like freedom to be able to kind of be itself, shall we say. And the opposing energy of Uranus is kind of like these two big, because Uranus is all about change, and like I was saying, and it is the ruler of Aquarius as well. So there has been this kind of facing off of each other, if you like, of kind of who's going to win this battle. And of course you've also had Mercury, which has been trining over to Neptune as well at the same time. And Mercury, of course, has just gone through its retrograde, which started on the 31st of October. And for you Capricorns, it has taken place in your 11th house of Aquarius. So it's all been about your friendships, your community. You may have found that that you're having to kind of weed out. So sudden, quick, unexpected change. A few days before this new moon in Sagittarius, Mars entered Scorpio and immediately went into an opposition with Uranus on a much deeper emotional level. With Uranus. Mercury, I feel, has forced you to kind of look at your friendships, like I was saying, on a much deeper and more emotional level, to really see who is there for you. Who is at your soul, who is your soul family? Who resonates with you? Who do you feel really kind of connected to on that level? Who is there for you? Who just turns up when they want something? Who is just there kind of, you know, only when they want something from you, something, you know, they're fair weather friends, as the term goes. And Mercury is saying it's time to clear out, weed the garden, because it's in Scorpio. It's a deep emotional level as well. So you may have felt overwhelmed by this as well. You may have felt, you know, that's not that you kind of don't really want to get rid of any of these people, that, you know, you kind of have attachments to them, deep attachments with some of them, maybe many of them. Maybe you've known a lot of them for a long time, and you don't feel as though you're being fair to them by kind of removing them from your life. But and also it may be making it very just difficult in general to make that decision and actually, you know, do that, say enough's enough. But you may find also, as Mars opposes, not only opposes Uranus, but Mars will soon also be crossing over the place where Mercury has just been retrograde. So Mars is kind of going to go back over that same spot, and he's kind of going to cut things off, because that's the energy that Mars has. It kind of cut things off, like, so that will no longer be in play. Once Mars gets into that Mercury retrograde energy, it will kind of bring an end to it. But as it does that, it will also be kind of sweeping up the kind of bits that have been left over, if you like. And so you may find again that things kind of come to the surface to do with your friends, and you may find out things that you didn't really kind of maybe take that seriously before, or maybe kind of like it was more in your head rather than actual reality. Maybe you had feelings about these things, maybe you sensed it on a deeper level, but you didn't actually kind of analyze it, or kind of actually allow yourself to go any deeper intellectually with it and really find out any of the facts behind it, shall we say. But when Mars comes over, Mars, and the fact that Mars has just been in this kind of opposition with Uranus, which is all about change, and Uranus is in the opposite sign of Scorpio, it's kind of saying, you know, now is the time to really get that cleared out, time to sweep through, really kind of like, you know, you may find that things come to light to do with people possibly backstabbing, or there may be signs of jealousy as well, which can be quite a Mars kind of energy. Just this kind of feeling that the people that you maybe thought you could trust, you kind of find out are not quite as trustworthy as you thought they were. And also because of Mercury trining Neptune, again, I feel as though it's saying, you know, look and find support within your soul family energy. So whoever it is that you feel that you are connecting with on that level, this kind of soul feeling of, you know, deeper kind of just knowing each other on a deeper level, even if that's people that you haven't known for that long, that have come into your life kind of out of the blue. Maybe there's just these feelings that, you know these people and they know you, and they're there now to give you more kind of support and to carry on together a friendship that could turn into something much deeper and much more fulfilling and satisfying for you. Okay, Capricorn, so that is all the astrology that I have for you today. I hope that has also been helpful, and if you take a listen to the tarot reading that I'm also going to be putting out there for you as well, you may also find that that will resonate too. So quickly, before I forget, we have these cards here that I pulled earlier. It's a bit glary. This card is the Divine Mother card, the Divine Mother Blessing card, and these are from the Tony Carmine Salerno Namaste Blessing cards. If you've not seen my videos before, I normally do these with the tarot readings, but I've decided to do this today with the astrology. So a previously closed door now opens. This is a blessed and fortunate time for you, but be mindful, humble and grounded. Feel your connection to the earth. feel her energy and love in your heart, and know that you are eternally blessed by the Divine Mother, which is all very Cancerian. It's that North Node energy that we're trying to get to. And that's what I was talking about earlier, Capricorns. This is where we are trying to get to, particularly for those of us with that placement. Okay, so Manifestation card by Esther and Jerry Hicks. I'm going to try and speed this up a wee bit. You might want to take a snapshot of that as well. So it says we are all co-creators within a diverse universe. Every physical being on your planet is your partner in co-creation. And if you would accept that and appreciate the diversity of beliefs and desires, all of you would have more expansive, satisfying and fulfilling experiences. So I think that's kind of saying that, you know, we don't all manifest in the same way. Some of us manifest our dreams and our hopes and our happiness and what we really want. We manifest it into our lives, but there are those who manifest the opposite of that, but they are still manifesting. But we can all manifest together. And again, I think, you know, Capricorns, that could also be talking about this need to remove those negative people out of your life, if you like, so that you can kind of come together with people who are more of your same belief and of your same energy, and are all trying to get to that same heart energy, if you like. Okay, well, I hope that has been of some help to you. Again, I will put a description in the box down below for your natal free astrology chart, so that you can check out placement signs, maybe your south node, now north node, where they are as well, because it will be different to do with different ages as well. It's not just kind of a collective thing. So my email will also be in the box below for anybody's wanting a reading with me, not so much an astrology reading, but a tarot reading. Please check out my tarot reading as well, which I will be putting up online after I've put this online, hopefully. And my PayPal link, if anybody wants to give me a donation, that would be great. And please do subscribe to my channel and tap the bell so that you can get future readings, and like my videos up, please. That would be greatly appreciated, because then it gets out into the kind of bigger YouTube world. Okay, thank you once again, Capricorns. I'm wishing you all the best. Take care.